How do you get every piece of information that you need on a portable power station before you purchase it? That's rough, and that's why I do a lot of these reviews on these different power stations that are out there. This is the DEENO GTX 1500. It is a lithium iron phosphate unit, which is good. 1500 watt out in its AC and DC combined. And then it has a 1036 watt hour battery, which is a disappointment in my opinion, because if you're running 1000 watts out, this unit will run for less than 1 hour complete, because there's inefficiencies. You have the 10 to 20% going from DC to AC. So this unit lends its strength to being a DC output. So if you're going to charge drones DC, if you're going to do a lot of things DC as far as the USB outputs or anything else, awesome. If you're going to get into the AC, not so awesome. And I'm going to bring you in and show you exactly why. One of the things that, in my opinion, is very important to note, do you have a power adapter that is going to be powering your unit, or are you going to have a cord that is directly plugged into the back, so you're feeding this unit with grid power? That's important to me because of pass-through. If we have this adapter, there is no pass-through power. So at this point, we are adding 190 watts in. No matter how you charge this, 200 watts is the absolute maximum. So if we were to actually turn this on, which the AC is on, you can see 1 watt out. If we were to turn on our heat gun, and we'll just run it on medium, this should be about 700 watts. It will not. You can see our voltage is dropping down to 108. We're low on watts here, but we're going to quickly come down in minutes to empty, because we're taking, in round numbers, 200 watts in, 400 watts out, or well, 600 watts out. You subtract them. We're 400 watts to the negative. So this thing is going to quickly come down. It says 23 minutes left, and we're plugged in. So that's not good for its AC. Now when we unplug here, it doesn't adjust our voltage much, because the reality is we're not using a whole lot of AC power, so we're still staying at 108 volts. We kick this up to high, which you're hearing not much of a difference. You should hear a big difference, and it should be 1400 watts. It is not, because this unit really isn't able to push that out. We're at 1058 and it turns itself off. This should be a 1500 watt unit, and it's not getting over 1000. Let's just do this again so we can make sure the machine isn't lying to us. We have our kilowatt here, 109.2, which matches up with our Fluke. Everything's good. We're going to turn on our heat gun again, 108, that matches up. Let's just check our watts. So here, saying 650 on the kilowatt, 600 on the machine. So there is a difference. Let's just kick this to high. Notice how slow this guy's coming up. This guy's already at 1100. Kilowatt should be at 1400. This should be well within the realm of what this machine should be able to handle, but it doesn't. So we're showing 1088, but reality is we're pushing out closer to 1150. Still within the realm of the machine. 10 minutes till it's dead, even though we're plugged in. Kind of a disappointment here, but at the same point, before we kick this out again, I'm going to kick this off. It's something in this case where this fan should be running also, because you can feel some heat coming out of the unit, and it's simply not. So I like the fact that it has some safeties in it. I don't like the fact that it is definitely overrated for what you're getting. Cool parts about it is you can charge your phone on the top. That's pretty nice. It's always nice to have something where you can just set your phone down, charge it. Like I said, DC outputs, you have 2 PD100 USB-Cs, and then you have multiple 1.8 amp USB-As, which is great, the 3 of them. You have some 24 volt out, 12 volt out, and then a car adapter also that is 12 volt out. I like to see all these outputs, so if you had the use for either a semi-truck, 24 volt, or anything like that, although it's only 5 amp, the 12 volt here in our normal pin type output is only 5 amp. You have to go to the car adapter to get 10 amp. Either way, DC wise, this is going to be great. AC wise, it's going to be very, very mediocre. So there are very few of these portable power stations that actually put out the right voltage, that actually are safe and turn off when they should, that actually give you everything that they say they will in the specs, but also have a higher watt-hour battery in them than the actual wattage that they put out, because I think that's important so you have some life. While this is lithium iron phosphate, I think that's wonderful. It's going to give you 3,500 charge cycles before you lose that top 20%, meaning you'll still have 80% left of the battery. So this is going to last you a very long time. If you pick it up for AC usage, like on a tailgating trip or anything like that, thinking 1,500 watts is going to be great for you, it's barely going to be able to run anything small as far as anything that has a heating unit in it, but it will do it for such a short period of time before it's completely dead. And the fact that we can only put in 200 watts through this AC adapter means that it won't charge fast. It takes 6 hours to charge this from 0 up. And if we're charging it like we are now at 20% and trying to add and use it, it's just gonna deplete itself that much quicker. Not something I'd suggest. I'd look at something that is going to have a AC input plugged directly into it, something that's going to charge at 1,500 watts, something that's going to have a pass-through that's going to allow some of that electricity to come through to the plugs and also charge slowly, but not use up the batteries while we're trying to actually, plug in, use grid power. And it's just a mess. If we're like this, we have to take here, we go from AC, convert to DC, DC in, then convert back to AC. We have so many inefficiencies. This little block is hot. That's all we're creating. A lot of inefficiencies, a lot of ways of not getting the power that could be in here, and a lot of ways for this to deplete itself super fast. So not something I'd suggest unless you're looking for DC use only. In that case, I found this for around $600. If you wanted to use it for the PD100s, the USB-Cs, or the DC out, something like that, or to charge a drone, that's great. But even if you're charging a drone through AC or something like that, that's not ideal. You're going to want to use this for DC only. Questions, comments below. Love to hear it. Give us a like in this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.